What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to look at OP-12. And I need to make an argument, I need to explain to you why OP-12 is so much better than we thought. Like, genuinely so much better than we thought. Like, I kind of figured OP-12 could be a fun set. But OP-12, straight off the bat, it didn't have that much going for it. In terms of timing-wise. Because it came hot on the heels of OP-11. And OP-11, I mean, amongst other things, it had the anniversary Luffy cards. Which are, I mean, that gold Luffy card is like one of the top 2 cards we've ever seen in the game that can be pulled from a pack. We had another Manga Luffy, and everyone loves a good Manga Luffy. We had those stunning special rares, which I like to call playing card style. That's not the official term, but it's a term which I feel pretty comfortable with. And then, you know, in terms of leaders, all the leaders except Shirahoshi have seen a bunch of play so far, and I've seen them winning over in Japan. And of course, we've got the new Luffy leader, which on release became the best deck in the game. And, you know, Nami's pretty cool and Kobe's pretty cool. There are other leaders in the set which have seen play and success, but the Luffy's just hands down best leader in the game, like as soon as it came out. OP-11 turned out to be a big set, a special set, a very cool set. And we don't know much about OP-13 yet, it's too early, we've not got there. But we do know that OP-13 is going to be the 3rd anniversary set. Remember, OP-05 was the 1st anniversary set, and that set was huge. OP-09 was the 2nd anniversary set, and that set was huge. I think, strong argument, they're the 2 best sets we've had so far, at least the best main sets, probably the best sets overall. And we're just going to have Goldie Roger coming as a leader for the first time, which we know is going to be a big deal. And basically, OP-12 was in this weird point where it was sandwiched between OP-11, which turned out to be a really good set, and OP-13, which might end up being the biggest and bestest set yet. So we looked at OP-12 and we went, well, you know what? It could be cool. There could be some cool stuff in OP-12. We'll have to wait and see. And I thought OP-12 was going to be, and I don't say this is really a bad thing, I thought it was going to be just an ordinary set. Nice little set to keep us ticking along between 11 and 13. And honestly, any One Piece TCG set is good for me. I would be perfectly happy with another set to keep us ticking along. And then Bandai started really showing us what was going on in this set. And oh my word, OP-12 is busted. Because, oh look, they've gone and put anniversary cards in again. And to be fair, right, the anniversary cards, they are Marshall D. Teach. They're still gold and silver like the Luffy, but they're Marshall D. Teach. They are not going to be on the same level as the OP-05 Luffy they did, and I'm not claiming that they are. It's not going to be the same. But we've still got these ridiculous 3rd anniversary cards, and that's kind of absurdly brilliant. And that card is, of course, very playable, so we got these 3rd anniversary cards, they're very cool. But then they showed us the special rares, and I'm just going to put it out on a limb here. I think these are the best special rares we've seen. Now it's been a few days, I've had some time to kind of sit and think about this and mull it over. I think these are the best special rares we've had in the game. I think they are ridiculous and brilliant and wonderful, and I think these are the just hands down best special rares we've had so far. What I like to call the Constellation effect is just absolutely absurd. The Tashigi and the Limb from this, I mean the Tashigi especially, probably my favourite special rare they've done so far. And I know this is very much kind of a personal opinion and not everybody might agree with me, and that's absolutely fine. But I do think these special rares are, and I'm just going to come out on a limb and say it, they're special. These are big cards. These are fancy cards. These are, well, they are special cards. And that's kind of ridiculous. Now, the manga rare has ended up being Jewelry Bonnie. And again, there's an argument that Jewelry Bonnie isn't on the same level as, say, a Luffy. But this is one of the characters we have most been waiting for to get a manga rare. And they've gone and chucked it into OP-12. So we've got ridiculous special rares. We've got a manga rare we've been waiting for. We've got more of these gold and silver anniversary cards. And if you look at this from a standpoint of, I want to pull cool cards, oh yeah, no, they are. They are really going for it. But then they've done the leaders. And I honestly believe these are the best leaders they've done. I think these are the best design of leaders they've made so far. Up till now, my favourite has been, well, what I call the OP-04 style. So we had them in OP-04. That was kind of their debut, so to speak. But then we also had them in OP-07. And we also had them in EB-01. So we've had them in a few different sets. But it's basically the leader with their crew behind them. And I think what they've managed to do somehow is take that kind of style and just make a better, cleaner version of it. And I think they are absolutely ridiculously, absurdly, wonderfully brilliant. I think the Koala is my actual, and I mean this sincerely, my actual favourite alt art leader we've seen. In the game so far, I think the Koala alternate art leader is the best one among them. I think it's absolutely absurdly good. Koala and Nico Robin, yes. Or maybe you prefer the Kazan and Monkey the Garp, or the Zoro and Dracula Mihawk, the Rayleigh with Luffy behind it, the Sanji and Zeph, the Rocinante and Law. I don't know. But the point is, these are phenomenal leaders. So when you look at the types of special rares, the types of leaders, the fact that we got the anniversary cards, the Manga Bonnie, this is all adding up. This is not a set where anyone at Bandai turned around and went, you know what, dudes? OP-11 was a big set. OP-13 is going to be a huge set. Why don't we just kind of keep the boat floating with OP-12, but not do anything too special? No! They are going for it. And in terms of playability, it's really hard with One Piece to know exactly how good these leaders and these decks are going to be until we've got the full set list and we know absolutely everything. And then we get to the table and start playing it. But there are decks in this set with so much potential. Now, for me, and I've been pretty clear about this in my videos, right? Since we've been talking OP-12. I think Koala looks busted. Koala's got a skill whereby when you attack your leader with Koala, if you've got 2 or more 8 cost or higher characters in play, you draw a card. But then there's a whole bunch of Revolutionary Army cards which artificially increase their cost to get you there. And then once per turn, when your opponent tries to play a character with an original cost of 8 or more, or they play a character using an effect, you can make them take the top card of their life into their hand. It looks like an absurd leader. And then we've got things like the Bartholomew Kuma, which basically recovers a life when it comes in and when it leaves. It's just absurdly good. The Zoro is one I have absolutely got my eye on, because activate main once per turn, Dawn X3. When you attack a character, you activate, and then you cannot attack characters at an original cost of 7 or less for the turn. But you can attack leaders or more powerful characters. So yeah. Oh, and we've got that event card. Luffy's the one who's going to be king of the pirates, which lets you restand Zoro. And cards like Kuina that will pop the Don on there, so you don't even need to worry about actually attaching the Don normally. And then ways to search out the event and all sorts. And it's going to be restanding over and over. And this one looks incredibly strong. Even the Don Quixote Rocinante, it's a weird one. I grant you it's a weird one. But that's one whereby once per turn, when your Trafalgar Law is KO'd, you can instead add the top card of your life to your hand. Keep your Law on the field, get a card advantage. And activate main once per turn, Dawn -1, and the next 4 cost or higher Trafalgar Law you play this turn cost 2 less. So you're weirdly incentivized to be playing an all Trafalgar Law deck, which is bizarre, but you get so many advantages doing so. We've got an event card that gives your Trafalgar Law an extra 2,000 power and says that you can't be blocked, We've got a Trafalgar Law Super Rare, which is coming around in the set to kind of combine with the leader, which, if you've got less Don than your opponent, or the same number, adds an active Don when you play it, essentially making it a 4 cost, and it gives your Don Quixote, Rocinante, and your Heart Pirates an extra 1k. This looks like another very good leader. I'm not saying that we're going to be absolutely destroying the metagame here, but I am saying some of these leaders look very strong. The Kazan, now Kazan has to be mono blue, because if it was blue and black, I think it would actually be broken. But it's got a skill whereby every time you trash a card from your hand using a skill on a Navy character, you draw one to replace it, and that's every time. So all of those Navy cards that make you trash don't actually trash anymore, they cycle your deck instead, making it absurdly good. And I'm still not convinced by Sanji or Rayleigh, but they could end up being the better ones again. Rayleigh's a weird one. Rayleigh says you can't have 5 or higher cost characters in your deck. But then it's also got there's a whole bunch of skills running around where you can boost up lower characters. And then Sanji's got a skill whereby you can Don -1 to play a 3 cost or lower event. So it's Don -1 to play an event for free, which is pretty gosh darn good. And then when you're attacking, if you've got the same number of Don as your opponent or less, you get to add Arrested Don. So maybe that's going to end up being busted. All it's going to take is a couple more reveals to potentially make those cards busted. And I come out of this thinking, like, over the past couple of weeks, my mindset's gone from, don't get too high on OP-12, because it's sandwiched between OP-11 and OP-13. I thought this was going to be like OP-6 or OP-8. And I'm not saying they're bad sets, but I am saying that they're not the most popular sets. They have been among the easier ones to pick up cheaply. They haven't been ones people have been getting as excited about. And I thought that OP-12 was going to be like OP-06 and OP-08. And maybe it will be. Maybe people won't love it as much. Maybe it will be a set that ends up being easier to find and cheaper. But I'm telling you, over the past few weeks, my opinion on this set has absolutely skyrocketed. And I am now ridiculously excited for this set. But I've told you all this now, so now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about OP-12. Are you getting hyped like I'm getting hyped, or am I getting overly excited, which we all know I do tend to do? Let me know in the comment section. Ganas! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.